In this video, we have got a 104 kill game on Devastation Conquest with the M1 Garand using the lovely Sakura skin with the gold combination. So having the Sakura stock, all the wooden bits, and then obviously the gold metal bits on the gun as well. And you can see we are using the reflex sight, of which my favorite is normally the iron sight or the reflex sight, and most certainly not going with the 3x scope, because that middle post, that bar on the scope, is just so thick. It really harms your accuracy, and at long range as well, it completely blocks the target which you are aiming at. So it's a long range scope, which doesn't make it very useful for long range. So stick around. In this video, I'm going to talk about the gun, talk about this game in particular, and obviously how to find the most amount of enemies and get the most amount of kills. If you do want to see the specializations which I am using for the M1 Garand, then do check out the playlist on the playlist section of my channel. But the one key specialization to make note of is that I have gone for the long range increased damage, which is on the 3rd or 4th tier, at the sacrifice of having a slower fire rate. Now, you will know a lot of low level players will absolutely kill you so fast with the M1 Garand, and they'll just spam 8 bullets in what feels like 1 bullet and kill you so quick, even though you're using a Type 2A or a ZK or a shotgun. But for me, that really is not the way to go. I've gone for the increased damage because at those longer ranges, using that specialization will keep it pretty much always 2-3 bullets to kill. At times, obviously 1 bullet to headshot and 1 bullet to the body, so 2 bullets to kill. And if you don't have that specialization on, I think sometimes it is going to 4 bullets, which when you've got an 8-round magazine with which you have to be accurate with, sometimes you can't even get 1 kill with the 8 bullets on those long range targets. And hopefully everyone by now will understand how much importance I place on long range ability. It's probably the biggest skill gap in any first-person shooter like this, which uses big maps. The better you are at long range, then obviously the more amount of kills you're going to get, because every single enemy you can see throughout the course of a game, you're going to have a better chance of being able to actually shoot at and kill. And you're ultimately going to spend less time running towards targets and getting within your capable range, and more time actually shooting and getting kills with the bullets from your gun. In terms of the positives of the M1 Garand, of which there are not many, it has got a good damage per bullet to get 3-shot kills, obviously sometimes 2 shots, when you are using that specialization which I talked about, which increases the damage. The fire rate, even with that slower fire rate, is, it's good enough, because if you're firing too fast, your vertical recoil is just going to kick up too much. So having that slower bit of fire rate actually gives a good amount of time between each shot to allow the sight to come back down onto the target. So it's actually probably improving your accuracy, and it's not affecting the time to kill that much by going for the lower fire rate compared to the faster fire rate. And then when we get into the negatives of the gun, the most obvious one, which everyone can instantly see, is that it only has 8 rounds. So that is not very good, as well as its spare ammo capacity around 60 rounds. This is probably one of the guns in the game I've found that I will run out of ammo the most amount of times with, which is obviously therefore not a very good thing. You can also factor in that sometimes it is quicker to just dump the final 2 or 3 rounds in the magazine and do a full clip reload, which again, that will waste ammo as well, but can keep you alive to get a quicker reload. So you will see me sometimes dumping the rest of the magazine for that quicker reload. And lastly, the final kind of negative is its long range ability, which you have made better by choosing the long range increased damage specialization, but you'll get loads of other semi-automatic rifles in Battlefield 5, like the Gewehr 43 or the Carabine, which will have even better damage than the M1 Garand has with the specialization specifically for long range. So that's kind of an overview of the M1 Garand. So let's get into this game in particular and what I'm doing and where I'm going for the 100 kills. I have cut out a lot of clips in this game which are pretty much not on C flag, and the reason being they have been cut out is because I wasn't getting enough kills to make it good enough to be putting into the main part of the video, or simply because I just was not finding any enemies. That's why you'll see on all of my Devastation 100 plus games, the majority of the clips go around the center of the map, which is the main flag of C. All the enemies are always capturing it or defending it, and it's always an equal distance to all the other flags around it. You know, it's the main point of the map. It's a huge church which everyone is going through almost every second of the game. So you really could just stay there and do a 100 kill game. Moving into this game in particular, I am pushing now from our spawn flag of A, trying to get into the church onto that power position, the center flag of C, but I am going to have to stick around by A. As you can see on the flags at the top there, the enemies are almost going to be capturing all flags, which is going to drain our tickets much quicker and may put me at risk of not getting the 100 kill game which I want to go for. You can see there now the enemies very quickly capturing C and also now capturing A, having had that tank push forward onto there. So I've had to come back onto A here to try and make sure we keep at least one flag and stop those tickets from draining really fast. And you will see in the final pretty much 3 minutes of the game, I'll be 30 kills off of getting the 100 kill game, and the enemies are going to have almost, or pretty much have for a good amount of time, all flags, which is why the game ends early. But I managed to get a lot of kills in those final few minutes still, which you will see. Now here you're going to see me make a kind of smart play. I'm going to push around the church to try and flank from that D entrance into the church, if you like. All the enemies have got all the other flags now, C flag being the latest one, which was contested and captured by them. So pretty much all of the enemies are going to be going from the center of C flag straight through to A, and that's why I pushed around this side, because I knew I would not potentially encounter any enemies coming from this direction, because they would go directly through the center of the church. So I've been able to go here and get a nice flank. It is going to lead to a death, me getting overwhelmed, not being able to have enough ammo, but it was the right play. If I had stayed back a bit further and kept my distance with the M1 Garand, which is what it's used for, I probably could have got a bunch more kills and perhaps allowed our team to go ahead and get back to capturing C flag. But I am going to take the death, and this is going to get into the section of the video now where they are fully capturing all the flags. So now we are on to the final 2 clips of the game, where I'm just going to be defending for my life A flag and trying to push as quick as possible to that 100 kills before all tickets are drained. So I'm not going to commentate any further on this because there's no rotations or anything to be explained. This is the final 2 clips of the game, so I'll let you guys watch that. In a second you will see me get a really nice V1 on A flag because all the enemies of course are here. You'll see me get the V1 with a nice slide over the car bonnet and into the car as the V1 explosion goes off. But hope you've enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and I will see you on the next video.
Handgranate für Sie. Erbitten umgehend Luftschlag!
Genau wie ihr wolltet. Da kommt! Objective Emil has been lost, soldiers.
Scheiße! Sie haben das Ziel!
I don't think that bullets will bring back desire.